It should be there now. Okay, let's see. I need to share myself. Okay.
Oh, it surely is.
Yeah, you can share it now. Let me share it to my pages too. All right. All right. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Unscripted with Charles Dixon. Hope everybody had a wonderful weekend, safe weekend. And look, I know some of y'all states is being pretty hard here. People say stay in the house, and folks still out in the streets. But anyway, today we have a special. This is a special edition of Unscripted. This is a little something different out of the box. Normally, Shay, what I do is people send in questions. And that's kind of how, and I kind of just give my unscripted take on what their question is in a relationship, whatever it is, and I just deal with it like that. In this case, this is a little more up close and personal, one-on-ones, a little different type thing. When I saw a post that you posted, I want to say maybe, was it last week or a week before last?
Probably, it might have been a week before last.
Yeah, I saw the post, and it just stuck out at me, and I was like, wow, I said, this is brave. And not only is it brave, but it is something that I've talked about on several shows here and there. And I just thought it was brave of you to step out and kind of speak your truth. Even if it was a former truth, it was your truth and you weren't afraid to talk about it. So, So before I go any further, I'm going to allow you to introduce, well, let's just say this. I want you to tell the people who is Shay Atkins, and then let you go into that and do your spiel, and we go from there.
Lord, there's so many layers to them. I'm gonna try to make it short. Let me see.
All right.
Just an old country girl from Houston, Texas. You can hear my little accent, maybe, I don't know.
Okay.
But I love people.
Okay.
I had the gift of singing, writing, acting, and I put out 3 albums early in my career.
Nice.
Got married at 19 years old. I'm 38 right now.
Okay.
And the marriage became tumultuous and toxic. And I learned something about myself. Looking back, I learned a lot about myself. And I went down a self-destructive path.
Okay.
And I felt hopeless within that marriage. And I ended up doing some things I never thought I'd do.
Yeah.
And for about, I'm gonna say 6 years straight, I was in a self-destructive place, gave up on music, gave up on myself, gave up on my marriage.
Wow.
And I'm gonna say for the past 2-3 years, I've been on the self-love journey of God restoring my life and restoring my heart from all the pain and things that I went through.
Good stuff. I mean, that's it. Yeah.
With a new book. And
you said you're writing a book, you said?
Yeah, I'm here with a new book on how to love yourself.
Nice.
And I'm promoting that and promoting my new song, Loving Me.
Nice.
To share and let everybody know where God has brought me from.
Excellent. So along with a strong, this is a strong truth to speak in this day and age. Because look, let me put a disclaimer out there. You are the bold person that have chosen to step out and just speak on your truth. But make no mistake about it, you are not in alone company. Folks out there have been a piece of the pie, a quarter of the pie, a chunk of the pie, whatever you call it, with somebody's husband, man, fiance for years. So it isn't under the sun. It's just that people aren't bold enough to speak on it. Because the only way, sometimes people can only get change or begin to think about changing is when they can identify it through someone else.
My Lord.
Here's the tough thing about what you're doing. Look, it's easy for people to sit back in the seat and just be like, messing with somebody's husband. Because for one reason or another, here's another truth. Most women at some point or another have sat on the couch of angst and anguish while their particular person was somewhere else. So sometimes a story like this, if people can sometimes see you as that person, even though you're Shay, you have nothing to do with it, but they'll look and say like, oh, that's the type that would have him all night, all that kind of thing. So
right.
Yeah, but nonetheless, this is good. We got to learn to start somewhere, and at least you're enough to talk about it. So I said, so let's just. So I'll be advocate for the people. People want to know first, and it's not no one asking. I'm just asking you this question. People want to know what goes on in the mind of the other woman. One thing is this. Here's the thing, if she know he my husband or if he my so-and-so, why would she choose to do it? Like why, so I'm gonna let you, I'll come back around, but I'll let you start with the beginning of the mindset of what makes you begin to make these decisions.
Oh Lord. Okay. First of all, I experienced being cheated on first.
Okay.
And I never thought I would ever cheat.
Okay.
But because I had a lack of self-love, which kept me in a situation that I probably would have left had I had self-love.
Right.
Because I remained in that place where I wasn't being nurtured.
Okay.
It's just getting broken down even more.
Wow.
I became vulnerable to trying to feel good.
Wow.
I was vulnerable to a compliment, needing that attention, needing that love that I felt like I wasn't getting at home.
Wow.
And so it's just a build up of it. Because I put my validation in being a wife.
Yeah.
My marriage was broken. I lost myself.
Wow.
I gave up. It was like, this is the last straw. Everything that I'm living for, everything that's making me happy, which is outside of me, is broken.
Wow.
This is the person that does my music. I can't do music no more.
Wow.
I'm giving up. But remain. And so when the enemy sent what, you know what I'm saying, look good, smell good, was talking good, it was like a sponge sucking it up.
Wow.
Thinking about others was out the window. Wow. Because once you give up on yourself,
that's it.
Get hurt.
Yeah.
You got to love yourself first. My relationship with myself was unhealthy. So I attracted an unhealthy relationship.
Wow.
And that was the beginning of me cheating. But that wasn't the end of me cheating. This, God say don't eat from that apple, because once you eat, you're gonna know.
Yeah.
And so I was open to another world. I was open to another way of feeling good, which was really just feeling my lust and my insecurities and my vulnerabilities.
Yeah.
That it's just a temporary feel good, just something to numb the pain, something to, make you feel good for the moment.
Okay.
And that's how I ended up in that place, because I didn't love me, so the boundaries was gone.
Wow. So does it get to a place like, I guess it's like, I'm imagining it gets to a point where you say, guess what? I'm lacking. So because I'm lacking, I don't care about no one and nothing else. I'm unhappy. This person isn't treating me any kind of way. So however I need to redeem me, I'm going to go do me. And then let the chips fall where they may, to a degree. Right?
That's right. Just like, I don't care. F my life. I was so angry. I became first I would say I became an alcoholic first. So, that's going to open up the door to the enemy too. Yeah. So when I would get drunk, I would be so angry, and that bitterness, everything that's in you when you get drunk gonna come out. F my life. F my marriage. F me. Shay is dead. Like I'm talking about angry. Like it was a hate was within me.
Wow.
And I didn't care. If he found out, I don't care. Wow. It was kind of like, I don't care. That's how angry I was. I don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did it. But like an arrogance was upon me. The anger was so bad. You know what I'm saying? Wow. So yeah, when you give up on you and you don't know how to fill your cup in a healthy way, toxicity has an open door to come in.
Wow. So do you think your anger So do you think your anger was a direct result of how you were being treated and the lack, or were you angry because of what you allowed to happen?
I think I was angry of how I was being treated and what I allowed.
Okay.
I'm hopeless. There's nothing I can do now. It's nothing I can do that's gonna fix this situation. So you can, hey, F it.
Yeah, and so everything.
Yeah, I gave up.
Wow.
I gave up. I didn't have no tools to fit. I didn't know what to do because my value was in being a wife, being a singer, being an artist, and all that was gone.
Yeah. Wow.
Yes. Like what I got now.
Wow.
So, at the expense of hurting others, yeah.
Oh, wow, man. That's something to think about. So take me into the mind of what happens. What happens when the other woman, right? The other woman comes from the other house back to her house. Psychologically, what happens? So I'm just saying, so let's envision the other woman, right? At the time, the other woman being yourself. You were at the other place, right? With the other person. But then back to your home. How does that process mentally work for you?
Well, at that time, like I say, I didn't care.
Okay.
So all right. It was like an arrogance of, I don't need you no more now. I'm getting, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm getting what I need now. So, you know, I'm telling you, I was a fool. I was a mess. I'm talking about just cussing them out, talking crazy to them.
Wow.
Because now you got that arrogance of what you wasn't doing. Oh yeah, don't even worry about it.
Yeah.
So I'm talking about that devil had me. You hear me? I ain't care no more. So I was a same case.
It's like you were throwing the resentment back in his face. The resentment you had toward him back in his face. Because now, like you said, you were being satisfied, be it wrong or right. You were being satisfied where you were, right?
Yeah. Wow. So yeah, it was the arrogance, pride.
Yeah.
Yes. But it didn't end well.
Wow.
That ended in heartbreak too.
Yeah. So do you think in that instant, now here's another probably a good question I'm sure people in the atmosphere would want to know. When you're in this position of the other woman, are you taking it as face value? I'm with this dude. I know he got a wife or whatever he has, and I'm just going to play my position. Or am you like, well, you know what? He promised me that you're going to get to the other side. He said, I'm special. And when I get over there, it's going to be me and him. Was it that?
No, see, what it is, I don't care no more. I done gave up on life. I know I can't have you, and it's supposed to be we ain't gonna catch no feelings. This just, you know, us satisfying each other. But because of my makeup, I'm a loyal person. I'm a person that loves love. I wasn't built for the game.
Right. Wow.
But it's a game that you ain't built for. And you think you ain't gonna catch feelings, and you getting your emotions, these emotional void fields. You think you ain't gonna catch no feelings?
Yeah. Wow.
Fooling myself. What's that song, Dramatic? Who's fooling who?
Yeah.
The song go, who fooling who? You fooling yourself thinking that if you know you want love and you finna let your voice get filled by somebody that you're attracted to, and you ain't gonna catch feelings.
Yeah. We do this. This is welcome to the land of situationships. We do this, this suicidal mission. Suicide on earth is what I call it. We go out here and we open ourselves to be like, you know what, I'm done. I'm tired of this. I just have a need, and this is what I get to do. I don't care what you look like. Let's just handle the business and keep it moving. Unrealistic, knowing that as long as we in these skinned makeups, we're in our flesh. And if we're in our flesh, it's hard to think you can pick a person. They can be cut like you like, built, whatever, just like you like it, all those things. And that person can practice. And I say practice because I always say we practice what we wish to perfect. So if you allow a person to keep practicing touching you, loving you, laying you, all those things, you're asking for problems internally. Not just saying this to you, but just in general. We as people, we asking for like our slow demise of denial to be unraveled if we think we can live out this life and do these things and have these casual exchanges without feeling like we can walk away whole. It don't work like that. You think that.
Right. Yeah. That's right, because you're already broken. And like I say, it ain't gonna end well.
Yeah.
Because it ain't built right. It's toxic.
Yeah.
It's toxic. And the thing about that, now that became a cycle.
Wow.
You know, after that was over, here come the next. Now everybody didn't have no wife. You know, now I got some on the side.
Wow. Wow.
Everybody, you know, I had my side. You know what I'm saying? So it was a mess. It was a mess. Just trying to fill voids. Just trying to fill voids.
Yeah.
At some point, you got to look at what you got going on at the house. And if it ain't right, leave. Don't stay and keep hurting each other and keep being toxic. You throw your dirt, I throw my dirt. No, if it ain't right, do yourself a favor and remove yourself from that toxic situation and develop a healthy relationship with yourself.
Yeah.
And when you love yourself, you're not going to allow toxicity in your life.
Yes. And
you're not going to flip it on others.
Yes, because a lot of people, believe it or not, are emotionally crippled. They're out here and they have the mindset of just what you said. I'm not going to allow this. I'm going to get myself together. But internally, it is hard for you to turn and pivot and be like, I'm not accepting what I know I don't like and what doesn't feel good to me.
That's right.
All been there. I've been there. We've been in situations where he's like, look, this is bonkers. What am I even doing for? But there's that other side of us, that soul tie, all those lessons that keep us like, all right, one more time, and it just never ends. And when it does end, it ends like them Ford car plants out in Michigan, where it's always a crash dummy hit the wall, and it's a terrible accident, and everyone,
that's right.
It's a mess. Yeah, it's a mess.
Right.
Yeah,
that's right. Wow. And now you broke it, and that's why it's so important to get the knowledge on healing.
Yeah.
You know, and if you learn to heal, you know that anytime you do drugs or you drink alcohol or you watch PORN or you develop in a relationship with somebody, certain hormones are released.
Yes.
During that time, they give you a certain feeling, which makes you addicted.
Yeah.
So you have to recognize you can be addicted to a person.
Yeah.
You can be addicted, and you need to know that so that when you're healing, God can break it. God can break it, gain new knowledge, learn new knowledge on how to heal, learn new knowledge, and know what to protect yourself from, know what to pray for, know what to pray against.
Yeah.
And God will break it.
Yeah.
It's going to take time and it's going to hurt because this been your drug for so long. This been what you've been going to for so long.
Yeah.
But when you want it bad enough, God will heal.
Yeah.
I cut off everything that was toxic in my life. When I was ready to heal, I said, I want to heal for real, Lord.
Wow.
I don't want to go to no person. I don't want to go to a substance. Show me how to heal for real. Wow. And I will tell your people. And that's how I ended up doing these videos and the video that you saw. Yeah. Because I promised God, if you bring me out in a healthy way, I'll share what I did with others.
Wow. That's good stuff. I mean, the thing about this is, and this is what even the audience has to understand. Even though the topic of this particular broadcast, we're talking about the other woman. But but this issue really doesn't have a gender. Side piece is a position. It's not a gender. And that's what
it.
You think that they're the side chick. No, when you position yourself to accept less, it's
that's
gender.
Right.
It don't matter who you are. You're positioning yourself in someone's life to accept less than from them. And that is, you're putting yourself in that particular role. And that's, and from that point on, look, I'm gonna be transparent with you. All right. You're telling your story. So I've been on the opposite side of that. And so while there is the person that is involved with the person that's involved, right? That's the other woman. And then there is the responsibility of the person on the other that's held accountable as well. The man, he's held accountable. If he has a woman, a wife, and what we men have to be careful about as men, because once a man becomes specialized in becoming duplicative with women, it's a habit, and you begin to deal with them in a habitual form. It's almost like you preparing Air Jordans on an assembly line. Okay, this is what I need you to do. You still over there. You don't do this. You go boom. You going down there. It's like It's a mindset. And so you was on one side not caring, and I was on the other side not caring. You know what I'm saying? So either way, it was destructive. But this is the way sometimes we do to numb our pain and our. Sometimes what you want to do is you kind of go into this. I don't care. I've been betrayed over here. Talked about there. This one not respecting you like you should. So what does it matter? If you think if you call me a villain, you think I'm a villain, I might as well get the gun and carry the money bag and be the villain. And that's what I'm going to be. I might as well be the bank robber. And so I assume that role for a season. Like yourself, I stopped doing the music. I stopped doing all kinds of stuff that I really enjoyed at the core because I was in a lost space, like kind of whirling. And I'm just like, and so in that space, of course, I encountered the other women, you while even having the woman, you encounter another woman because you allow yourself to get into these places and you try to nurse your lack, the lack that you may have at certain points in your life. You call yourself trying to nurse it. So you say, you know what? I'm leaking out. This Band-Aid ain't holding, but if I go over there, it'll put a big gauze on it and it'll fix it. And all it is, it's just like you ever seen people try to patch up things that got a bunch of holes in it, and even though you got patches, the water's still running out, and you look like a mess, right? You think you think that you are fixing it, and you live in your world, and you doing what you're doing, but all in all, making a big fool of yourself.
That's right.
One of the worst things we can do as people is weaponize our sexuality, and that's what. When we get mad, we turn our gender parts into weapons. Oh, I'll go around out here and do me. Y'all about to get shot or whatever, and we go out here killing the street with our private parts because we mad. And the thing about it, we think that that's really affecting the other person. Now the man or the woman being cheated on is angry of the betrayal, right? They're angry because you broke the trust and the betrayal of it, and you putting me in, so to speak, a small box, disrespecting me. But the physical exchange is on you. The person who's doing it. It's your body part you're giving out. It's it's your penis you keep risking out here in the world.
That's right.
It's the woman's vagina that's getting beat up and stretched out of place if you're gonna keep on tossing it. That's just what it is. And so we look at it like that. We just kind of look at it like, well, I'm going to be a weapon and I'm going to show the world they don't know who I am. You only constructing yourself when you get in that mindset. And a lot of times when you get like that, you end up with a world of regret and a world of just turmoil. And sometimes it's nothing like calling yourself going on with your life and forgetting things. Let's just say, I bet right now you said I've chosen self-love and I'm moving on. And although there are some stories you can recollect, but there's probably some you're like, I don't remember that was back then. I was this, that, and the other. And so sometimes I find myself in that place and I'll be just moving on about life, and then up comes a wheat and a tear, right? Here comes something coming up on the wheat. I'm like, what is this? Remember me from 10 years ago? You didn't call me. Just making an example. So these things that we leave in the wake of our past, they don't always go away. And sometimes they just continue, especially when they see you moving differently. I don't know what it is about people not wanting to see you stand up. They would rather stay down. But when you stand up and do something different, now, who do you think you are? But if I was laying down saying, hey, come in the room. My wife is back there, but she's not paying attention. Okay. But when you stand up, now it's an issue. Now I want to tell the whole world you bad, you're a fraud, and all this crazy stuff, rather than just owning up to what your part in it is. You play the part in it with the person, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent. If you play the part, you play the part. Don't come back to destroy and criticize later. Just own your part and you do better. We don't want to take that route. We want to just take somebody else,
because you got to be ready, Yeah. You got to be, but where you think you're going? We've been doing this together. Where you think you're going?
Wow.
Nah, that ain't gonna happen. You've been feeling my voice for this long that you're going to try to leave me? Okay, I got something for you. You know what I'm saying? That wasn't me. I'm just saying. I see what you're saying.
But here, I remember I told someone once we were talking about a situation like this, and the person was in the middle of a sticky situation. They were a married person that was kind of phasing out of their marriage relationship. They weren't connecting. They just was just losing the spark. It just wasn't there.
Yeah.
The particular person at the time had given ear to another person on the outside that was speaking to her. You know, no, oh, you all right. You know how sometimes another voice sounds great when you got chaos at home. Somebody else,
yeah.
You know what they did? What? You crazy. Oh, we can go get something to eat. All those good words, fair
yeah.
in the midst of your hell sounds good.
Yeah.
So this person, I'm not even going to all the way say allow the person to pull them out, because I believe there's a certain amount that you want to go. There's a certain amount of you wanting to go, and there's a certain amount of the person pulling on, nugging at you to come. So when this particular person took the bait, this other particular person was married themselves, kind of like in messed up marriage, but they were married themselves.
Yeah.
They had to have this particular woman. They had to pull her out of her marriage, pulled her out of the marriage, kind of promising her another life, only to pull her out and try to position her like a side chick, even though I thought that was my car. Anyways, try to position her like a side chick. And I was just like, wow, that's deep. Even though in essence, he was a side, she was a side. Both of them were married. So both of you are dishes. None at the moment. But when she decided to leave, she said, I'm taking a step away because I wanted to see if what we have is real. So let's do this and let's come together. So when the notion of the coming together is supposed to come, guess what? As usual, the person flips the script. Because this is what I always would tell women this. And I'm sure women can say the same thing to men. When it comes to covenant, I don't care what nobody tell you in the street. When a man is trying to, if a woman or a man is trying to get next to you and they know you're in covenant, yes, you are that much more desirable because you are somebody that somebody said, I do too. You must value somewhere inside a lot of value, regardless of what you look like on the outside. There's something in you that's very valuable, and I want to get next to it. It's beyond vagina. It's something else. It's like a conquering to make them justify. So so the person will go and go and go, and then when they get it, they're like, okay, I got it. But in the back of their mind, we are, all of us, if we really think about it, I don't care how corrupt and dirty we get, all of us are wired with a discernment of truth. We all know what's right and what's wrong, whether we want to do it or not. And so when we got a person that we see openly breaks covenant, we're going to partake with it, but we will not trust them with us. See, we'll trust them to come find a plan, and we can keep on going to this hotel and going over here. Talking about taking this seriously? You cheat. Listen, think about how offensive this may sound. Let's take the scenario of you in a situation you was dealing with somebody that was married while you were married, and you dealing with a person like, I'm loving this, and I care a lot about you, and all of a sudden he gonna say, you think I'm gonna marry you? You married and you cheated with me. That's offensive, because even though you were grown enough to make the move, it's still like, but I took the risk with you and for you. And this is how you look at me like you can't even trust me. And that's the reality of what this stuff really is. And so back to that lady's story, that guy pulled her out of her marriage only to try to then say, well, you know, I'm in church and I'm kind of like a preaching, so they're not gonna allow me to get divorced. Now they can't get divorced because you still got the dysfunctional marriage that you're cheating with me with. But now that you're out and away from my marriage, you can't be with me because you want to do right. Bull crap.
That's a mess.
Truth be told, he could not man enough to say, listen, I get it. I didn't realize this is going to go as far as it did. And I was selfish. I wanted what I wanted, but when it all came down to it, I couldn't pay the cost because I wasn't built to pay the cost. I was built to talk the talk, but I was not going to walk the walk. And so what he did was he got her out of her situation, divorced, and he remained in his foolishness.
That's horrible.
She wasn't in the street and had to build up and redo life again until she gets saved, and he out in the street. So that's the reality of how this stuff sometimes is ugly.
That's right. You just feeling voids. That's all that's really going on. You feeling voids, making each other feel valued.
Yeah.
For that moment, giving them a false confidence.
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't know how to love yourself, so you feeding off of they compliments. You feeding off of their phone calls. You feeding off of them giving you their body. You giving them your body.
Yeah.
But it's just brokenness.
One of your videos, you were saying like you were saying something it's a feeling. You kept saying it was the feeling that was feeding you. You were desiring this feeling from this person, not just the part. It was just like it was a void they were feeling emotionally. Feeling, wow.
Yeah, because the count was negative. So somebody started dropping some ones in there, some hundreds in there, or what you think is hundreds. Oh yeah, you gonna suck it up.
Wow.
You gonna suck it up.
Wow.
Yeah, but it's not really filling your cup. It's just like I say, temporary, and it's just feeding your lust.
Wow. So these things, here's the flip side of this. So the other side, the ugly side of this is beyond the two people that are in the anguish, is all unsuspecting. I don't even want to say unsuspecting because I believe women are so smart and they know when a man dirty. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes
they know.
Women know.
They know.
Sometimes you may not physically see it or have all the evidence at the moment. But women are more, they watch their husband or their men more than the men give credit. And the women know your habits, they know your traits, and they know when something is funky and it's off. And when it's off, and sometimes, but here's the thing, sometimes some married women, they know that the husband is not right, but they're not ready to adjust their life. So they don't look for so much.
That's true.
Responsibility that comes with looking. When you look, and when you find, you have to confront what you found and make a decision. So prepared to make a decision, stop looking. Because sometimes we look, we go, you know what? I'm going to follow him down. Okay, you follow him over there and see he got a whole other family and 2 children. What you going to do? Stay in the marriage or you going to leave?
Lord Jesus, we don't want to leave.
With sneaking. When you do all that kind of stuff, fine. Whatever it is, no one is saying that you shouldn't get to the end of your truth and how you feel and what you feel is being done to you, what have you. But when you do it, married or not, it's a responsibility to come with what you see. You know what I'm saying? You got to make a decision to say, well, this ain't right, and I'm going to go on and just move on or whatever. It's a lot. That's a lot. I prided myself for years that as inquisitive as I used to be, I promise you, I said to myself, at all costs, I always want to protect my eyes and my ear. I don't want to see nothing. I know that's right. I'm not looking for nothing, because when you do that, even though sometimes somebody may say, you better go over there and find out. Yeah, guess what? When you find out, sometimes it is hard to get rid of that psyche. When you, especially if you see somebody, you go yourself chasing somebody to their job and you look and the person come out the restaurant with somebody, some of those snapshots, you'll never forget. And you'll be like, because there's nothing like seeing a person that gives you hell putting a smile on somebody else's face.
Lord Jesus.
Out in the open. They at home, they quiet, mean to you. Kind of, if you look out in the open, hey, boo. Like, that ain't even you. But you can get that person all that. So it's offensive. Yeah. Wow.
That's why it's important to, like I say in my book, I equate it to a flower being in a dark room, not getting no water, not getting no sunlight. It's your job to put the flower of yourself in an environment where you can flourish. If you're not being watered, you just got to be real with it.
Yeah.
Don't stay there. Don't stay in a toxic situation.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah.
That ain't it.
When
you lost respect for each other, not treating each other right.
Yeah.
What y'all do? And you want your mate to give you what you're getting from them out there.
Wow.
And you just creating a big circle of mess.
Yeah.
You got to look out for you.
Wow. And like you said, and until you have been in a toxic situation and feel like you couldn't get out, you don't ever want to go back in again.
No, especially when you get self-love.
Yeah.
When you get self-love and you recognize your value, it's just certain energies and certain things and certain behaviors you don't allow in your space and your energy.
Yeah.
You do what it takes to keep your peace and to keep yourself balanced.
Wow.
You don't want to be laying in the bed thinking about him laying in the bed with his woman.
Wow.
No, ain't nobody got time for that. No, you need peace.
Wow. Yeah.
In your life. And healthy, positive people and energies in your life.
And nothing that's
going to show you that you're not valuable.
Yes. That you just said was a handful. If you think about it, that's the other side of this conversation is you got the story that you're presented with. Like, you know, when they with you, oh, baby, come on. Yes, me and you. This is great. All that is great. But then there is the truth when they go home. There's always a story to justify the existence of the actions while they're with you. But when they go home, it's the real truth. And that's the reality of it. You know, somebody's telling you one thing and know good and well, they not, oh, let me tell you something funny. Hoping this friend isn't looking. Anyway, you know, I'm not going to use no name, but this particular friend of mine, he found himself, he was a married guy, found himself for years, he was straight laced. You know, he found himself in a position where he kind of had to step to the left, right? That's what his justification. Step to the left in the situation, you know, and I was observing because it was just different for me. I was like, wow, that's what you're doing? He was like, yeah, this is what I'm doing. And so the person that was dealing with him, she was a veteran in it because all she did was date married men. So to her, it was a new hope. Maybe I can turn you. You understand what I'm saying? To her, that's all she did was date married guys. So he dealing with the woman or whatever. And so she asked him, she said, so when are you supposed to be moving out? Because she was, you know, they getting close. The emotions coming.
Yeah.
Because I'm tired of living with being with you and you going back home to them. So when do you move out? And he, not being a veteran at all, answered the person the question. He says, oh, you know, I could see myself doing this in about 5 years after my kids graduate because I want to make sure they got the house first. And I'll never forget telling them, I said, listen, man, there is no such thing as stepping in the mud and coming out with no residue of the dried up dirt and mud on your pants and your legs. Once you in it, you in it. There is no way to try to be noble about it. That's what gets me this whole infidelity when it comes to marriage. There is there's no noble way out. When you're in it, you're pretty much saying when you're cheating outside of your house.
Yeah.
You're saying, I know I got kids over there, children, daughter, mother, whoever, but at the moment, they're on the back burner. Happen over there, whatever. As of now, this is me out here.
Yeah.
This is I need it all. So y'all
need this ego boost.
Forget about it. So you risk, in essence, you are saying, I'm doing me and I'm putting y'all at risk. Y'all are at risk at this point, but I'm doing me right now. And that's right. Yeah, that's it.
And I'm laughing when you're saying it because it's really the truth and it's sad. It's really sad.
Yeah, you know. When our mind get doped up like that, it's really a bad thing to get in that space.
Oh, yeah, you got that dopamine that been released in your brain, going crazy. Got you a new drug.
Yeah.
It'll make you do some things. That's why you got to protect yourself and put them boundaries up because you know when you open up that door, I always say when you let the enemy in for a ride, baby, he gonna end up in the driver's seat.
Yeah.
You got to keep them closed. You know yourself. You know your weakness. You know.
Yeah.
Can't be giving of no women no ride, counseling women by yourself. All that kind of stuff.
You can't. If you can't,
you setting yourself up.
Yeah.
And we open the door to the enemy.
The ugly thing nowadays that we deal with is that in those same situations, you have people, let's just say you first lady and that person is your ex-husband or husband is the pastor. You got one to have the meetings just because they're curious about you as the woman. It ain't even about him. It's about his wife. What did he do for her? She seemed like she got all of this and she's always happy. I admire her. Let me kind of get into her world another way through him. You know what I'm saying? People do kind of stuff like that. Yeah.
Lord Jesus. It's so much. And what's the root of it?
Yeah.
Just trying to feel good, lack of self-love, don't know how to fill your own cup, and then you go on the outside sources.
Yeah. So
it's so important.
Let me ask you this. Have you ever had a situation in your season, so to speak, where you had to have the confrontation with the wife? Ever?
No.
Never. You were spared that.
Like I say, no, mainly it was I had some on the side,
Okay.
It wasn't a whole bunch of me being the other woman. It was more the other man
I get what you're saying.
than the other woman.
You
see what I'm saying?
Totally stepping out at the time. You had control of it because you was doing you from the outside and then coming back. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, yeah, it was more of that. But I have been in that spot. Yeah. But the majority of it was trying to sneak and have some on the side.
Wow.
That's a mess.
Yeah, yes. So do you have anything so what would you tell the women in your own words? That woman that's out there that is right now being sponsored by the married guy. You know, he's taking care, he's doing all these things, but there's a casual exchange and he has her or him in a position, because it's him too. So in a position and there is no movement there, you just stuck in the efficiency of life, and you can't move beyond them four walls. You know what I'm saying? So what would you tell them?
I would just say at some point you just gotta think about your wounds and start addressing your wounds. Start addressing everything that ever hurt you. Wow. And allow God develop a healthy relationship with yourself. You know, realize how much it's hurting you more than it's helping you, because sometimes we look at what it's doing for us, but we don't see how it's hurting us. Wow. And you have to be able to look at how it's not helping your life, how it's not helping you. Right. And be willing to do what you got to do for you, to love you. Wow. Don't allow yourself to be second choice. Wow. You more than that. You are valuable. You are significant, and God will give you the desire. He will give you a healthy relationship, but it starts with you having a healthy relationship with yourself. You better than that. You better than that.
Wow, that's good stuff.
Yeah. But you got to believe it. If you see yourself as, I'm just good enough for second best. I'm good enough for being on the side. That's all I'm gonna get. You know, I'm gonna just settle for that and take it. He giving me this money. He helping me, pay this rent. Sure, why not? And you just hurting.
Yeah.
Not thinking about his mate is just a selfishness, that comes upon you.
Yeah.
But allow God to heal that place. Start addressing them wounds.
Yeah. And
develop self-love.
You know what else, when I think about how the place that we're in today, we're in a place that we will pay more attention to our physical temple than our spirit. We'll sit around, right. That is pork. You eat pork, you eat, oh my God, but then go hoe up the streets and hoe up the spirit. But you want the natural man good, but the spirit man, let him die with all the sick infirmities of your actions. But I need to eat good though. That's where we are. Eat, exercise. We want to. The temple is great on the outside, but it is dead bones on the inside.
It's broken.
We letting anything and anything go internally. But eat good and be in shape and all this, and don't do all this, but we can't do the same thing physically to us.
That's right.
Personally.
You just got to have that awareness. Once you hit messages like this, it plants that seed, and it gives you that awareness of like, yeah, man, maybe I don't love myself. Maybe I don't see my value. Why am I allowing myself to be in this situation?
Yeah.
And once you're able to have that awareness, then you can move forward using better choices. But until then, you're gonna suppress and you're gonna keep on repeating the cycle until you want better. And you have better.
And here's the truth as to why a lot of these situations, whether it be married man side woman, married woman side dude, or just relationship breaches, the reason why a lot of times they never change is because the woman is stuck and he's stuck. Nobody can turn. He's stuck in his habit. You're stuck in your acceptance. And he has a habit, or he or she has a habit, that there's a regimen of infidelity. It's a regimen. And I'm stuck in the regimen. And the person is stuck in the acceptance. And as long as you're stuck in the acceptance, nothing changes until somebody has to shift and pivot and say, no, I'm not doing this. But for the most part, this stuff goes on. These exchanges, as I call them, they go on for years because, again, he or she is stuck in the infidelity and the other person is stuck in the feeling. And as long as that's going on, Nothing changes. It's just that years go on. You might be like, what happened to that? What happened to that person you was dating? They still around. It'd be 10, 20 years later, the person's still around, still in the back, still around. Because this is like nobody's shifted. And it become the poison of toxins in there throughout their whole life. And I've seen people even take seasons off of going home with the wife and the family, and while the other person still they there, and the other person is going on with they'll be committed to being single, and he's with his family, and they're committed to being single and going to church and living a regular life, whatever. But then when he says it's time to come over, when he's coming over there to your house and putting groceries on your thing and all that, opening the door, he got a key. That's the reality of today. That's real bondage. Yeah, real bondage. So yeah, we got to do better and be better, because this is a crazy world. And and none of us are perfect, because this thing can hit any and all of us at any time. It'll hit you. You all it takes is a selfish notion coupled with a need, and that's it.
That's right. And like I was saying in the video, my husband was my first.
Yeah.
And I got joy out of being with one man.
Wow.
Let that flower sit too long without that water.
Wow.
I saw another side of me because of my lack of self-love and not seeing my worth.
Yeah.
The enemy was able to come in.
Wow.
And I was led by my pain, and I was led by my insecurities. They led my decisions.
Wow. Well, at least now you're at a place now where you are redeeming the time. You're gathering back your music, gathering back your joy, gathering back your self-love, and that's all that really matters, you know.
Yeah, I'm so grateful for that.
Wow.
I was crying, before I did this interview, I was crying, and I was like, I remember when I was crying to God, just saying, help me come up out of this place. Not know he knew what I would be right here doing this interview right now on the other side of that thing.
Yes.
And I was just so grateful. I was just thanking him before I came here.
Yeah.
He's amazing. He will pull you out.
Yeah. Before we go off here, I want to answer one of these. Not answer a question. I saw a comment. So Nola Thrower says, I lost my husband to a side chick. This is what I would say to that. And I talked about this on one of my shows before. And it's the way I'm gonna say this may sound weird, but it's real. A man can be married, and that's why I talk about the position, the side piece, and all those things. There are positions. So even if he was married, she said she lost her husband to a side chick. What really happened is he positioned you to be the side chick while he went on redeeming the time and trying to clean himself up with the new chick. You understand what I'm saying? That can happen. I'm not saying that specifically, no. I'm just making a point. Sometimes a man or woman can be with a person. They'll be in a covenant, in a marriage, and because they have given up on it, they now treat you like the side. And they go over here and say, you know what? That part where I mentioned that we all have to know better and do right. Now the person is like, you know what? I know you started off as the side, but let's go ahead on and graduate this.
Lord.
I don't care about this no more. So I'm gonna graduate you and change this around, because I can see some good in this, which is still self-destructive. Because at the end of the day, he or she can fool themselves all day, but you still don't have that core of trust, because we always think if they're gonna cheat with us,
they'll cheat on you.
That's it. That's the point. That's it. So this stuff is just really bad. We just have to stop weaponizing our bodies like weapons and going out here in mass destruction, tearing up homes and lives, because that's what's happening. Sometimes when you go out here in the street and people don't have no idea of their effect on the opposite sex. And sometimes you come into somebody's life and that person, what was that movie, Coming to America? When that white guy told his wife, because he was with the black woman, he was like, honey, I'm not coming home. He just hung in the hotel telling her he ain't coming home because he didn't he could not wrap his head around the effect the woman had on him, even though she was setting him up. But he was just, all he wanted was just whatever she was offering at that moment. And he was to risk it all But a lot of people out here are like that, you know.
Yeah. I want the people to know that, you know, if you're getting cheated on, it don't have nothing to do with you. It don't have nothing to do with your worth. You know, don't find yourself comparing yourself, because that's a broken person. Lust can never be fulfilled.
Yeah.
It'll be a continual cycle. It don't have nothing to do with you. It's their flaws, their lack of character, their lack of integrity, because they don't have self-love.
Yes.
And they so caught up in their lifestyle.
Yeah.
Know how to, they don't love themselves, so how they gonna love you?
Yeah.
It don't have nothing to do with you. You just accepted the covenant.
Yeah.
With a person who didn't know how to walk that line.
But you know,
it didn't have to do with you.
And we get so caught up, and I mean, the human side of us gets caught up in being cheated on. Rather sometimes taking a perspective and just simply saying that person is cheating themselves. Yeah. They're cheating themselves out of me, because they're to do that. But the human side of us is just like, you're gonna spike me and go on over there and do. That's the human side. We want to defend ourselves and be like, you're not gonna do that. I'm gone. But sometimes, look, sometimes when a person is really in their way and really in a bad place, it's no different than you loving your sister, your brother that's strung out on drugs. They strung out. You know, that's true. The thing that's hurtful about them is because you know them to be better, and you know that they can be better. But to see them addicted and strung, it pains you. And so, like most of us do, when we have that family member or somebody that's in a bad way, we distance ourselves. And then you ask them, well, why are you not being there for them? Because I just don't want to deal with the inevitable if that were to happen. So they prepare themselves, so to speak, by stepping away. When in essence, that's the wrong thing. When people are hurting, they need love to be rebuilt. And if you distance them and put them in a cold place, you're not helping anybody. That person is just, their demise is coming that much sooner because you leaving them cold now. You know?
One thing. Not at my expense.
Yeah.
Be there for you, but not while you hurt me.
I know that's right.
You're gonna get this long wooden spoon.
Yeah, right.
I'm not gonna sit up here and take your punches while you trying to get yourself together. Wow. And that's what makes that's what breaks you down when you stay. Yeah. And you know they doing this. Wow. And you hurting yourself now. Sometimes you gotta remove yourself. Wow. Don't allow people to
put you in the
do that at your expense.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Wow.
You ain't ready. You gotta heal. You ain't ready.
Yeah. Because that whole abuse thing is real. You know, the cheating, I couple it in with, it's a form of abuse. It is. And it's like, we don't want to look at ourselves as abusers. We thinking, I ain't putting my hands on nobody, but you putting your hands on their spirit.
Yeah, and their heart.
You're touching their heart, their spirit, and their mind. So it's a responsibility to, it's a responsibility to us all to kind of be more cognizant and less selfish, far less selfish than
definitely.
And making choices to please ourselves in the moment.
Yeah.
It's easy to please yourself in the moment, but then the backdrop of it is you have no idea. The backdrop of dealing with the repair and the cleanup is hard. It's hard.
Yeah, don't make yourself feel good at the expense of hurting others.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Yeah.
Wow. Well, I appreciate you. I know this was hard for you to do, but I appreciate it. Yeah, you put on the Wonder Woman today, and you said, I'm going to do this. Because when I saw the post, what I got from it was, whether you know it or not, when you were bold enough to even do it on your own platform, you were saying, I'm ready to speak my truth. And that's the only reason why I asked you to share. I was like, you should share because women need to hear this. I said, there's a lot of women out here that are in this position, have been, and entertaining going in. So if you can help them before the demise, it'll be a blessing.
I hope it helps somebody.
I'm sure somebody was like somewhere somewhere is just like, you know what, I needed to hear this because I kind of had this a little twisted differently in my brain. And so hopefully this is gonna help me, get myself on the right track. So
if you're looking for a pot of the gold at the end of the rainbow, you foolish. Yeah. So
why don't you tell the people about your music, your books, whatever, how they can kind of support you, whatever. Just do what you do.
Okay, when I was healing, God gave me a song called "Loving Me,"
Okay.
And it's just a musical inspiration to help you on your journey to remind you that you matter. So you can get that on all the digital platforms.
Okay.
iTunes, Amazon, and I wrote the book, Loving Me, and that's on Amazon. An ebook for $4.99 and $9.99 on Barnes and Noble. And it's not a long read. It's just tips to help you get started on the self-love journey because I didn't know how to love myself. So I wanted a simple way to help you get started on having a healthy relationship with yourself and how to start filling your own cup and how to have happiness without having to go outside yourself to feel good. So if you need some tips on how to do that, go get my book, Loving Me.
Good stuff. And so all of your stuff is under your name, just Shay Atkins.
Oh, Shay Atkins is HEI.
iTunes, all your stuff is up under there. Okay. Y'all support Shay. You know, she you know, took a lot of courage. So I much respect to that. Appreciate you for being a voice to the voiceless, so to speak. You know, so that's good. So I have a saying I say on my show, Unscripted, and I always say, let's continue to heal the world one heart at a time. So you help heal the hearts today.
That's beautiful.
Thank you for tuning in, and appreciate y'all in the comments. And I do another show on Monday nights, but I'll be back y'all at 8 o'clock. All right, thanks, Shay. You take care.
Thank you.
All right.